I guess when I'm listening to you right now, you raised a few points there, and I was thinking that you gave the example of dad watching TV.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that so much of our society today has been, and actually going back again, you talked about the two most important phrases like imagine and what if.
Yes.
So much of our society today has become numb
Yes.
to curiosity and imagination because we simply watch TV.
Yes.
Now, TV and TV shows and movies can be incredible for imagination if we watch them in that way, because the people that made them are very imaginative.
Yes.
The people that made them are very creative.
Yes.
But what's really interesting is that when we simply subject ourselves to sitting in front of a screen and let those images come to us and we don't use them creatively, we actually become numb.
Yes.
And I find that the majority of media makes us less creative, less curious, even though the people that made it are curious and creative.
Absolutely correct.
So I guess so many people feel like at the end of their workday, because they wake up, they do something, a lot of people do something they don't love. A lot of people maybe do something they kind of like. And then by the end of the workday, when they get home, they just want to switch on the TV to switch off.
That's right.
And it's like, switch on the TV, switch off your mind.
Yes.
And then that's how the next few hours pass. How do people find the energy, the ability to say, actually, you know what, I'm going to use this time to be more curious, to be more creative, because that's going to lead to a better world for me and for others?
Well, first of all, no one should be doing things that they don't enjoy. So I have a very simple rule in my life. As I said, I wake up at 4 a.m. and the day I feel when I wake up at 4 a.m., I'm not jumping out of the bed. That means I'm doing things I don't enjoy. So rule number one, when you wake up in the morning and if you're not jumping out of the bed, you should quit what you're doing, because that's not your calling. When you find your true purpose, find your, North Star, you can never, ever just lie down because you're so driven to solve that problem. If I may say, a lot of people talk about passion. I think the passion is for hobbies. Passion is for losers. The true winners have obsession. Obsession to solve the problem, not obsession about things, obsession to solve the problem. When you're truly obsessed about solving a problem, you go to sleep thinking about it and you jump out of the bed wanting to do it. And that to me is, find something that you're willing to die for and live for it. Find something that you're willing to dedicate your life to solving and then solve it, right?
Yeah.
Right. And, a lot of people give up because anytime you do something, there are going to be the times that things do not working out exactly what you expected. And to me, that's a sign of you are alive. Because the only way you know when you're alive, because you have a heartbeat, and the heartbeat goes up and down and up and down. And when it's smooth, you're dead. So if you're looking for a life that's a smooth life, you're looking for a life of a dead person. Find things when they're going up and down that tells you alive. When you are down, just hunker down and know that the next beat is going to be up. And when you're on top of that beat, never become too arrogant, because always remember the winter is coming and winter shall come, right? And that is the life, is that most people spend their life thinking they need to make money, so they do something they don't enjoy. Guess what? When they come home, they cannot enjoy because they wasted their life doing things they don't enjoy. And they turn the TV on, as you say, to switch off their mind. And now they're being bombarded with the most, if you're watching news, unfortunately, it's all about negativity for many reasons. Our mind, our amygdala is looking for negative news. So negative news catches our attention. And that's the reason newscasters know to get your attention. If it bleeds, it leads. They want to talk about all the negative stuff. So you're bombarded, and now you're even more negative than you were at work. And the thing in life is to get yourself out of that mode. Not only find your purpose, but truly be grateful for the life you're living in. Many of us have, culturally or sometimes religiously, we are told before you eat, do grace or do the, prayer. Why is that? The reason it is, Jay, is that your body, when it's in the fight or flight response, it stops the digestion. You cannot digest your food because remember, the reason your body used to be in fight or flight response because the tiger chasing you. And at that point, body says, you don't need to worry about digesting your food. It shuts down your immune system, by the way, because you don't need to worry about immune system because you're going to be lunch for someone else. Or if you survive, then everything calmed down and back to normal. Today, we live in this world where when we are at work, our boss is stressing us out. We come home, your spouse is stressing you out, and you're constant stress mode, and you're constantly in fight or flight response. And then we eat food in the flight or flight response. It doesn't get digested. Our immune system is not working, so we get more sick. And then we blame everything on the society. And all it takes is find the job you love. When you come home, be grateful for what your loving family you have. Give them the love, and in turn, you will receive the love. And I was just reading about the new book. Jay, you got to tell me more about the book on this love. If you can go figure that out, everything changes. Because then when you have love, you're always in the parasympathetic mode rather than the sympathetic mode.
Yeah, that's such a great answer. I love the idea that you're saying that we're living in a constant state of fight or flight and a constant state of stress.
Yes.
And so pretty much every activity we do is in a state of stress.
That's right.
That perspective of finding what you love is so needed yet so hard, and also different at different times. Like I remember when I was at college and I worked, even before college, when I was at school, I worked ever since I was 14. My parents always wanted me to get a job, and I'm very grateful that they set that up. And so from the age of 14, I was working. I delivered newspapers. Then I worked at a grocery store. And then I worked in retail. And then I was a tutor. I was always working. And I never enjoyed going to the grocery store. But I learned valuable skills there that I still use today, even though I don't work in a grocery store. And what I found is that
What skills did you learn?
Sorry?
What skills did you learn?
At a grocery store?
Yeah.
I had to, part of my shift was I had to, whenever the truck would come with a delivery, I would have to get one of these handheld pallet pullers, go into the back of the truck, put it underneath the pallets, lift it back up and pull it out and then stack it. Now, I hated doing that. Like I absolutely hated doing that. And I would try and avoid it at any cost. But that genuinely, I believe, gave me the skill or the ability to do things I don't enjoy doing.
Great.
For something useful. In the sense of like, I didn't enjoy doing that task. I didn't love doing it, but there are so many things that you have to do, even when you're building your purpose,
of course,
that you don't want to do that specific
But you have
thing.
a purpose.
But you have a purpose. At the grocery store, I didn't have a purpose, but I at least learned to be able to have a discipline of when it's your turn, you got to show up. You can't just tap out and say, I don't want to do it. And again, these are small skills. These are not, but I definitely I pretty much knew everything in every aisle.